So today we'll again look at the introduction of MLOps and what MLOps is. So for those who have not attended, the demonstrations and don't know me, I'll again repeat, my introduction. So I'm Bhavesh, and I'm having around 7+ years of experience in the IT industry, and in the ML, it's 6+ years. And I have been focused recently, like from the past few years, into ML engineering or MLOps for that matter. And I've worked in various frameworks and various different technologies as concerned in MLOps, and I'm certified on multiple cloud providers, just to name it, like Google, Azure are the top ones. I have a couple of certifications from both of them. So yeah, I think that's a brief about me. If anyone would like to introduce or have any specific questions before the start of sessions, I would like to hear them. Otherwise, we can go ahead.
Sorry, my name is Sagar. I work as a DevOps engineer. So I would like to know, so MLOps will be useful for me or not, or looking at the future prospectus, how is the path that you see for a DevOps engineer, or is there scope for DevOps engineers in MLOps?
Yeah, I'll take all the questions and then I'll answer. Yes, Sagar, sure. I'll wait for others if there is any.
Yeah, this Pradeep here.
Hi, Pradeep.
Yeah, just I want to know like this whatever the modules or tools for the MLOps you will be uh, applying on only on open source or how it is apart from this any other clouds you will be applying.
Okay. Got it. Cool. Yeah, Pradeep, I'll answer that as well. Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, my name is Mahesh. I have two questions. As a MLOps developer or engineer standpoint, how much how much Python skills is required? This is my first question. Coming to second question, in our training MLOps, which cloud you will cover, or you will cover three clouds, or which cloud you will cover? Yeah, those are two questions for me.
Got it. I think we have got a good amount of questions. Let me answer Sagar first. So, Sagar, your question was, as a DevOps engineer, will the MLOps knowledge help me or not? Okay. Is that your question, right?
Yes, and can the DevOps engineer can start looking into MS? I mean, how will be the career if you want to transition from DevOps to MLOps?
Okay. So let me begin, what MLOps is, what DevOps is. So as we go to the slide, so MLOps is nothing but, data ops, DevOps plus model ops. So as you see, like DevOps is a fundamental of that. Okay. You able to see the screen? Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, yes, yes.
So,
We
so
can
if,
see the screen, yes, please.
yeah, okay. So as you can see, like, DevOps is a very fundamental, and, the entire MLOps is based on the DevOps principles. There is nothing, I would say, fundamentally that you will have a fundamental knowledge of things, but you will not have a knowledge of machine learning. How is the model development happening? How we operationalize the model? How is the pipeline design looking like for machine learning? So all of these things will be new, but there is a good amount of knowledge that a DevOps engineer already has, and that is giving you an edge over others. If, say, example, some web developer guy is joining and we want to do MLOps, okay, so and the DevOps person. So I think there is always a chance that the DevOps person will excel in the work, and the reason is the same because the for the MLOps the fundamental thing is the DevOps. Okay, but other than that, you will have to learn pretty much few other things as well. So that's why we want to look at and then if you are having DevOps knowledge, that's really very good. I mean that would be really helping you to speed up the things. And as you know, like what are the importance of an MLOps? Okay, so we accelerate the time to market. Okay, and then we improve the model performance, collaboration between the teams. All of these things are very valuable. So if you see, this brings a lot of value to the team. And if you are in the right team, if you are creating value, so the value will be given back to you. What I mean is, the MLOps career is a very, like, it's a very glowing, and it is very needing right now in the industry. We need more and more people who are able to do. So what I'll tell you a brief, overview about the current industry. So in the current industry, like, we are having a lot of data. Okay. And the data is again, like, taken up by multiple uh, like companies. and they are taking the data, they are massaging it, putting it into the data warehouses, and they are yet to build a model, or maybe they are in the building process. They haven't productionized it. So that's the thing, you know, where, say example, there was, boom in DevOps thing, like, in a few, like couple of years, or maybe many years before, we have DevOps as a new practice. Similarly, today is MLOps. So tomorrow, I think it will be very, very common. So we'll be having more and more roles on this, and so yeah, I think it's a good thing to learn, Sagar. If I was able to answer that. I think next question was with Pradeep, right? So Pradeep asked,
Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
Pradeep.
on as a other person asked, like, on which platforms we will be working, AWS, Azure, or open source?
Yeah, definitely. We'll talk that. So as far as the platform is concerned, okay. So we are going to start with the platform, but we are not limited with the platform. As I told you, right? First, we'll cover all the fundamentals thing. Okay. So basically, if say example, there are multiple tools, so we'll look at least, two tools. So say example, if there is, we are covering the pipelines, we'll cover Kubeflow and MLflow. That's both open source, and we'll focus on the one tool. The reason being, at the moment there are multiple tools which are available in the industry, but we want to choose the best one, which is, easy for us to understand, and we can do end to end projects, and we can deploy them and showcase. That's our priority right now. So because as you are starting fresh, right, in the new field, you will have to gain some confidence by doing yourself, by, showcasing the all the demos that you are able to produce, and that will gain some confidence. Like that will help you gain some confidence. So that's what my process is. Like, to choose the tool which is, as easy as possible to accommodate, and then go and look at the other providers. So we are not logged in with one provider. We'll start with one provider which is doing the best services, and then we'll, look at the other providers as well, those who are providing similar services, and what are the differences. So we'll cover minimum, two providers in that. So you don't need to worry about any specific provider. So for that matter, like the tool that, we have choose so far is the Google Vertex AI. And the reason that I have chose that tool is specifically because there is a wide amount of work that has been put into that tool, and the tool is immensely powerful when it comes to the ML and MLOps, and it has done. And similarly, I've worked on Azure as well, and AWS as well. So I think the ease of use, and the things that they have developed is very, very good. So we'll definitely look at the other tools as well. It's not that we are not looking, but we, as I told you, right, we can start with one. We can explore it, and once we have a maturity, within a, like, couple of sessions and all, we understand it, like, say, 5 to 10 sessions down the line, we can look at the other things. So what happens is, once you have a familiarity with one tool, okay, and not only with one tool or framework or anything, once we have understood the entire process, then it's very, very easy. It's just, it will take 1 or 2 sessions for us to explore different tools, and then you can even create multiple projects on different tools, like on different clouds as well, yeah, for that matter. So if I was able to answer that, if you have any questions, you can ask. And I think there is one more hand raised. Hello, Sudhakar, you there? Can we quickly wrap up this? You know, we can start with the things as well.
Hey Bhavesh,
Yeah,
I have a
Bhavesh, one more.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Bhavesh, one more thing. We'll be looking after any tools like SageMaker in AWS.
So yeah, as I told you, we will definitely look at all the possible tools, but the goal is to first understand all the fundamentals, and work on a specific tool. Then only, move around. So for us, like right now, the goal is to provide you adequate information how the MLOps system is, how you would do the end-to-end MLOps system, and not to focus much on, any specific. Like tool or some technology. But yeah, definitely, if there is a, specific requirement that we want to go and, you know learn about this tool, definitely we'll put some sessions on that. So that specifically has to come from all of you guys. Yeah. Okay. I think that is there. So
Bhavish, I
yeah.
have a question. So, Bhavish, will it be like easy for a BPO guy to transition from the BPO career to MLOps? So that's my question.
What's your background?
So I'm into the BPO kind of service
Okay.
desk.
Okay.
So I want to switch from this BPO job to somewhere where I can make my career.
Okay. So do you have any technical knowledge so far? Like, have you interacted with any programming language? Do you know any of the technologies?
Yeah, I know JavaScript in good amount.
Okay. Nice. And how about any like have you worked on ML? You know any basic things about ML or something of that kind?
Nothing at all, nothing.
Okay, nice. Fine. I think we can maybe watch out some sessions if you are like the initial session, and if you think like you are able to grasp up the things, then definitely I think you can continue. But if you think like because there will be some amount of programming required. I mean, it will be not very extensive, but at the initial level, if you feel like you are able to have all the programming things, and you can continue. I mean, there is no harm, but yeah, you'll have to put in a bit of effort. That's it, nothing much.
Sure, I'll join some session. I'll try to grasp it. If I won't be able to, then I'll discontinue.
Yeah, yeah, feel free.
Thank you for answering.
Yeah, I
This
think
is
he
Sudhakar.
can.
Yeah, this is
Because
Sudhakar.
I also started with my career with the BPO, then I started into DBA, then I ventured to DevOps, and now I am MLOps. So
Exactly, yes.
efforts, yeah.
Yeah, this is Sudhakar, Bhavesh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just I want to check that. Are you going to cover AI also as part of this program? How you are going to deploy the AI algorithms using MLOps? Or
yeah, absolutely. That's a fundamental thing.
okay. One more question I have: how is the job market for this MLOps? The getting job market in the India.
As far as I understand, it's very good. Like, so depending upon like how you are having the skill set, and I think it's really good. It's growing, I would say. First of all, that's the one thing. Recently I've seen like from last 4 to 5 months the job market has been like roaring. So it's like good.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, Bhavesh. This is
Hello.
Sai. So, as a MLOps engineer, just I wanted to know your day-to-day activity, Bhavesh, like how it will be as a MLOps engineer.
Cool. I think Sai will cover this in the course material and in the introduction as well. Allow me for a few moments, and we'll jump into that. I think if there is no other questions, we can jump on to the things then, or like if you have any specific questions, we're going to spend a good amount of time. Okay,
Okay.
good enough
Sure.
to work to go and get some more details. Otherwise, we'll do just this question answers. I would love to do this, but I think we have some limited time. So thanks, for everyone for having such an interactive sessions. I love the questions and I love the enthusiasm that you have. So let's quickly discuss, what is MLOps and how does it help the teams and what is the primary goal of the MLOps. Okay. So MLOps, it's nothing but short form is it's for like machine learning operations. So what do we mean by machine learning operations? It's a set of practices and techniques that we aim for streamlining the process. Basically, what is the process for ML? It's development, the model development, the deployment of a model. If you are using any machines, you're managing that machines. It is an combination of like a principles that are set on the DevOps, and there is a data ops and model ops. So there are three kind of things. So it requires all designing all the infra, or maybe like designing the architecture slide of thing, and that it's included like a model development effort. You will have to orchestrate the development effort. You will not have to do the development. The data scientist will do. but you are the one who will be orchestrating it. Say example, there is an automated development happening, so you can take care of it. So there is a model operation side of it. So when the model is hitting the production, we'll see that the model is operating well. We are monitoring it live. So this is one of the good diagram which I have included here. So if you see, like, this is the phases of a development. Like first we start with the ideation. So this is the initial, and here there will be no much of an ML engineering work required. So we set the use case. We use some basic data set or development, and then we build, we measure, and then we learn about our results. And then once we are good, this cycle happens. And once we are good, we'll go into the second stage, which is the proper development with all the pipeline. So here is where the ML work, ML engineering work, or ML ops work start. So I can interchangeably use ML engineering and ML ops. So because I find it one and the same, there are slight differences, but there are very, it's a thin line in the market. So I would like to call it the same. And so ML model engineering again is a part of that thing. Data engineering. So all of we'll be working with different teams. So data team, so the data scientist team, and the ML team. So there will be couple of teams, and there will be obviously a business requirement team, which is a product management, or maybe like a product engineers, or for that matter in different companies there are different roles. So hope you are able to have that clear vision in how you're working. So as an ML engineer or ML ops engineer, how you're working in different teams. So you'll be interacting with a lot of people, and your work is to streamline the entire process. So that's how it is, like right now, which we are able to see. And once the model hits the production, we have the ML model monitoring, maintenance activities, operate, and then release it. So this is how it is going on. The new things are coming in and they are having, that's what the cycle is. So which is very similar to DevOps, but there are some nuances, as I mentioned, because in MLOps, like, in this particular thing, like we are having three things. So one is about the data. So you need to version, care about it. One thing is, the other thing is, like, we have a model in the ML ops, and the third thing is the code. So what we need to do is we just need to keep everything in sync. Like, say this example, this is talking to this, then the code is talking to this, then the model is again consuming this. So these all things will be taken into consideration, and their front data can be also talking to the model, data can be talking to the code, and then again vice versa. So these are three are connected. So these parties are, that's why we need to care about the data. We need to version the data as well, we need to version the model as well, we need to version the code as well. In DevOps you only care about the code, but in the MLOps, you care about data, you care about code, you care about model. So we are not limited to the code now, but you have to see the entire, like, horizon. Okay. Okay, I think perfect. I think we are having the stage. Let's have like things discussed. So I would want to, because you guys didn't attended the demo sessions, we have some important slides that we look, and we important material that we look into the demo sessions. So that's why I will like to have that again opened up. So I'll just MLOps level 2. So level 2 automation. So basically this is a highest level of automation that we can have in MLOps. So maybe the company wise it's different. So Azure might call it level 4, Google might call it level 2, AWS might call it level 5, or something of that kind. The levels might different from organization to organization, but once you understand what they are calling the level, then we'll be able to understand, okay, this is what they are calling, and now we get it. Okay. So what I mean by, when we say, like, we need to care about the code, we need to care about the model, You need to care about the data. What does that mean? So basically, as we were having the CI/CD practices, how many of you are aware about the CI/CD practices? I mean, just quickly, hands up, or maybe like any reactions? Yes, no, perfect. I think two people in. Okay, cool. I think only two people. So okay, CI/CD is nothing but the process where we are doing the development work, and we are putting in the development work into production as soon as possible. We are having some automations in line, and the like manual handoff is as low as possible. Something that is developing, so it needs the testing. Something that's developing needs to go into the production. So this is nothing but we are automating few set of tasks. So that's the same. Like in ML systems, we are automating the CI/CD as well as the CT. It's continuous training, because a system once get trained, it can again. So how many of you use ChatGPT like models? Like how many of you used consume ChatGPT or any other AI systems for that matter? Okay, so you guys see like ChatGPT has some improvements day by day. So they have some like there are releases which we call. So in same like any other models, you will be having some releases which you will see. Okay, so these releases are nothing but you will have all of this in line with your development effort. Whenever you have a new development effort that you would want to productionize, is where you will release the software. So similar is in this software we are having ML system. So the entire system is improved, or maybe it's taken to a next level and it's released. So for the better of the users. So similarly, you might have used Netflix, you might have used YouTube. So these are all putting in some recommendations in place, which is helping you to take better decisions, such as which movie to watch next, which video to watch next. It can be looking into all of your data and training the model at the same time. So example, in YouTube, they don't train models like week, month, and year. So they train models incrementally on a new data. Say example, you have watched something yesterday. Okay, they'll do something about it today, so that you can see that tomorrow also you will see the same kind of data. So they consume your data every now and then, and whenever they feel like there is a, so all of this is automated, all of this is MLOps. Like there is a process that is setting in, which is looking in all your data, maybe at a user level, maybe at a you know a subsystem level. Say example, if you are in a certain part of a world, they'll take maybe at some point of time. Say example, if in India it's like 12 a.m. is their time, like for example. So the process can kick in for Indian region. Let's do the model training or inference at 12 a.m. and then put the results back into some cache where you can quickly get it into. So that's how a system works. Okay. And in the demo session, we had also looked at like how the ML code is only 5 to 10% of it. So there is another systems that are going into automation, feature engineering, metadata monitoring, serving infrastructure, and whatnot. Like this is the entire system which we call. But in the real world, what we are seeing right now is the still companies are majorly focusing only on the ML code. But nowadays, I think many companies have come up with the practices, that is the ML engineering practices, MLOps practices, which is also enhancing their work, and they are able to see the results. But like back few years, it was not the real case. But now I think many of the people in the market and every company, if you go on just Google MLOps job roles, you will find like every freaking company is having that job role right now. So the reason is because they know, like we cannot do the manual handover or manual handoff. It is slowing down our process. It is causing the business like dent. So that's all like overview, I would say. And we talked in like about DevOps versus MLOps, how this DevOps system is different. As I mentioned, like in DevOps we have only CI/CD, but in MLOps, like we have some amount of different things. So this is the manual handover process which I was talking in. You can, view it. So someone was saying the font is small. Is it like really small now? Like, is it visible for you? So this is the basic level of maturity where most of the organizations are. Like I'll tell you, like majority of the organizations still doing the same way, and they need, like, to go to different level, like a level 1, level 2. So what is the level 0? It's nothing but, you do this step which you see on the left side. You are doing it manually. This is your development stage environment. And then once you want to put something into production, you know this is the ML team, that is a data scientist, and there is a ops team. So there will be a manual handover process from here to here. Like you will send some packages, okay, like a model. You will send the code into version systems, and you will do the process like manually. You will inform a team, okay, this is my latest code. It is sitting in the develop branch or whatever branch it is, or you're raising a PR, saying that I have the latest model. This is where I have coded things. Now you can pick up from here, and the ops team will do that work, and ops team will look at it, what the model has been taken, and we need to build a new code for it. Like the ops team will have to write the inference code. So what is the inference code? Is nothing but where we are serving the model. So we'll use that particular thing to look at it, like, okay, how this will perform in the production, what is the latency, how much is the inference time it is taking, what all requirements it has, how can I containerize this, and put it into the finally a prediction service. Prediction service nothing but it's an endpoint, and it is, the entire world can hit this prediction service, and we can make it scalable. So that's what, like, a current process which we look at. How many of you are with me and like have understood so far what we are talking, or like it's going bouncer? Okay, think few people. So I believe others are not getting up, getting the things. Is that the case? Okay, I don't think like you are responding well. So I need to get your inputs to get ahead. I mean, I can route the session accordingly.
Maybe the folks are not knowing how to raise the hands or something.
Okay, cool. No worries. I'm assuming then you guys are getting that. Cool. Yeah. Thanks a lot, man. Confirmation. So, there is a multiple things that we'll definitely look in, and so the challenges of the ML0 system. So these are the key challenges, like companies, and when you are looking for jobs, okay. So you can also talk to the companies. What are the exact challenges that they face? I mean, which level of maturity they are at. Whether they are at level 0, level 1, level 2, and where they want to go. So they'll definitely tell you, like, our goal is to go here. And if you are having multiple clients, you can talk to your clients. What they are maturity. So they'll understand. Okay, you are having some knowledge, and you have been in the industry, so this is a kind of experience that you should have. And so the level 0 will be like, actively monitor the quality of the model in the production, because like you are not having any automation to do this, right? If in case you had the automation, you don't have to worry. You have like a process that is sitting. So you have some scripts that are running like on a scheduling basis, or there are some things are taken care. And you need to frequently retrain your model in the production, because you have not monitored. You don't know like when the model performance is degrading. So hence you would want to retrain frequently, and I have seen all these cases in real. Like, this is really what it's written here. It's happening, and it's not happening with small companies. This is happening with large MNCs. They are corporates. So specifically, I've seen clients which are holding up business like 40% of US. So similar clients are still having this problem. So I mean, you can trust my words. So that's how the big the problem is. Like, and then many industries need that. So, and continuously experiment with new implementation to produce, like, there is a continuous implementation or maybe experimentation that you have to do. And let's see, like, how to address these challenges MLOps practices helps. Like, just we are talking about it. Let's see in action, like how does that work? And I think some of you who are familiar to DevOps will now be able to understand why, like, practices like DevOps and MLOps are helpful. I would like to look at this diagram very carefully. So because this is one of the major understanding point. Let me know if there is a font visibility issue or something. I've just zoomed in whatever I can. Just have a moment with me here and focus for next few minutes, because we will be definitely looking in what are the now, like in the last 10 minutes we have discussed like what are the problems, but now we'll discuss what are the solutions and how should we go about. So as I mentioned, like, there is a two environment. Let's say this the upper environment, which is like, experimentation, sandbox, development. And the down environment is our production, is our pre-production staging, like which environments are, like operated by the ops person. Okay. Now, if you see that these guys have drawn a line, here is the ML and here is the ops. But I think the down, like this arrow, it's again, this entire thing is controlled by the ops. Okay. So what I mean by ops is the person who is responsible or the team who is responsible for doing all of this. Okay. So that's the convention. So if you see, like, the above portion is having this much area where the data scientist or maybe the ML team are writing in code into the source repository. That is, the source code will be written into some kind of source repository, right? Such as GitHub, such as other like GitLab, or maybe anything where you are maintaining your source code, you're versioning it. So, the imagine now a new data scientist has come in, he has worked for a few months, he has produced a model. What next? So we have to convert that model into a pipeline. What is a pipeline? Pipeline is nothing but a series of steps. Like in the, I think in the demo session also we had looked at the pipeline in a slighter thing. So we'll today as well look at it. Like, what is a pipeline? How does it look like? What does that happen? So pipeline is nothing but it is a series of steps with certain, sequence like you are giving. So you can call it like maybe containers, one after another, like, all packed in with all of information. So that's how a pipeline is. It's a fundamental unit of work of a MLOps person. And once we have this pipeline, we'll deploy this pipeline. So now what we have done is captured the entire process that this guy has done manually. And this will be our fundamental unit of work, which will be deployed. Now this is an automated pipeline. You see, this is an orchestrated experiment. That is, this is done manually or written. The notebook has been written, the notebook has been orchestrated, and the data scientist has produced the code into the source repository. We are then taking the pipeline which we have built and deployed it. So we are automating the entire thing, this thing. So we are making it reproducible. Like this is a very important quality which we are adding it up. So how this can help the organization? It can help them to experiment a lot faster, produce the results, put them into production. Okay. Once we have all, I think there is something. You have raised any hands? Okay, fine. So yeah, I think sorry for I thought that I heard some sound. Yeah. So we have the automated pipeline, okay, and then you have a ML metadata store, which is tracking all the things on this pipeline, how things are running, which data set we are using, which versions we are using of the data set of the code. Everything is stored on this ML metadata store, and then we are hitting the model registry. Once this is done, we're hitting the model in the model registry. Like what is the model registry? It's nothing but packaging the model in such a way with the amount of metadata which is ready to deploy it. Okay, and then there is a CD, that's a model serving, the continuous deployment. Like once the automation is kicking in, the pipeline is retraining, maybe it is a weekly, maybe it's on a performance degradation, there are some checks that we need to do, and on that basis the model will be deployed. So either we'll do this all in the automated way, and then the train model is finally deployed on the prediction service. Now we'll again do the performance monitoring. What is performance monitoring? It's nothing but, say example, Netflix is giving you some bunch of movies which you have to, you are getting in your predictions. Say for next 30 days, you are not even touching it. Like, the predictions that Netflix has given, or maybe Prime has given, or YouTube has given. So due to some issue, you're not touching it. But is that causing their business, like, your the watch time has been lowering because you are not watching their content. So it means their system is not performing well. So this is what the monitoring is, performance monitoring. It's nothing but, I give you a simple example, but in the business it can be like, say, other things. Like, say example, if you are forecasting demand for something, say example bike. If you are forecasting demand like 50 bikes, which is needed for an hour for a station, and you don't get that much demand, you get like 25, or maybe you get 75. So there is a mismatch. This is what we need to monitor through the performance. And once we have the performance monitoring cycle done, we need to trigger it. Saying that there is some issue, or maybe like things are going good. Based on that, the trigger is raised, and then again the automation will kick in. You see, like how we have done this, and now it's going here, not here. And only once you have some issues which is not able to solve by this one, then only we go out. Okay, we do some analysis. If you see that there is a thin line from here to data analysis, like, there can be a cause where, things are not working well. Say example, COVID hit it. So COVID hit, the businesses were working very differently. Say example, if you used to buy like a groceries for a month, or maybe like a few weeks, now you start buying groceries for few months. And all the systems in the world, the prediction systems, went like haywire. Okay, so because the user's behavior changed, we call it concept drift. So there's a term. Now I'm introducing a new term that is known as concept drift. So what is a concept drift? Basically, the way between interactions were happening between the dependent variables and in the ML. So it has changed. So what has changed? Like a user behavior, the patterns by user, how they behave and they buy has changed. So we need to retrain the model with the new data now. So yeah, pretty much these are the jargons. Like, if you are hearing it for the first time, so this might look little massive, but yeah, trust me, like once you have this all, look at a few times, this will be very easy. So this is a MLOps automation level 1. We have a level 2 as well. But
Bhavesh, Mahesh here. I have a question on the diagram. Can you go back to the diagram?
yeah, so
Yeah. So here my question, like let's say, as MLO operation guy, we deployed model in our production environment. So let's say 1 month is working, predictions are working. So after 1 month, our predictions are not working. So as MLOps team, we need to take care of the responsibility to fix that model, or how it will be happening in our project environment.
yeah, you are the sole owner. So as an MLOps person, it's your responsibility that the
Okay.
prediction should.
Yeah. So then we need to, as you explained, we are orchestrating the model and we are taking care of operations. So we are in position to modify the code also. We are capable. We need to modify the code as well in the model.
No, the model code we will not modify. So that, see, model code is nothing but, there. So I'm thinking that, how to explain, but yeah. Say example, model is nothing but, the model input is data. You will control the data. The model is nothing but it will be written by a data scientist. You don't have to worry about the model code for that matter. But which data the model is getting in, so model code can be static. Model, if once developed, it can be reused again and again, until and unless there is a algorithm change, there is a shift in the pattern, or maybe like, there is, as I told you, right, there are some things which are not able to be done in the current setup model. That's why we need to change. Otherwise, as an MLOps engineer, you will be having an control to retrain the model, and it will be a business decision. It's not your own decision, but it will be a business decision. You are the one who will write the code for that, or maybe you will like compile it in a way, or maybe like you will connect it in a way, but this decision will be from business. So that's why, here it is like trigger, we'll have automation trigger. There will be certain guidelines from your business. So you will have to discuss with the business team as well, saying that the model accuracy has dropped by like 15%, and we are able to see that. So in that case, if you configure this well, the system will automatically retrain. If not, then again you are into this one only. Like you are into this phase, which I'm telling. Like if you are not doing automation, you are in this phase. Like the one which we saw, you will have to automate, like manually do that steps. So if you say manual experiment steps, again, like if something is going wrong, you will have to prediction service. You have to monitor manually. You have to check the analysis, do the work, and then you have to manually ask the data scientist or yourself. You can do the retraining purpose. So that's how it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I got it. I got it. Like, we are not in a position to take the code. We are not taking decision. But my core concern, let's say, data is same, model is same, but unfortunately predictions are not performing. So there is a area something we need to dig that code, or how? Like, let's say data scientist hand out model to MLOps team. We deployed model. So every day we are monitoring, right? Model is monitoring. We are monitoring every day the model responsibility of monitoring operation, we are taking care of it or not?
It's automated. You are not manually doing it. So that's what I'm saying.
It's yeah, it's automated only, but unfortunately, the particular day prediction is not working, model prediction. So then in that case, so that trigger, that whatever automation is happening, the prediction is not working. So that's what. Then they will reach out to us. We are in a position to dig that model or what. So like I'm trying to understand our responsibility
So
in that area.
understood. Understood. Let me take a step on this. So they have multiple things. Okay. Say example, right now your infra is not okay. So that is one of the issue. Second thing, like this cannot happen. Like if the ML model is deployed and the endpoints are like the infra is all good, the model file is all good, everything is good. It cannot produce a prediction. It can produce a bad prediction, but it will produce a prediction until and unless there is some infra challenge. At that point of time, definitely you have to kick in. Like definitely as a MLOps person, it's your responsibility to look at the part of infra. There will be specialized infra people as well apart from you. So if there is any specific outage which you are able to see, then there will be some infra people also looking in. Or if you are having any cloud provider, you will have to discuss with them, raise a ticket or whatever the production alert. But this system will trigger like the performance monitoring, or maybe the prediction service has a monitoring service as well, which will trigger because of this and this error, because of this and this reason, it will throw an email to the required things, or maybe it will notify through a different channel. So this is all that we have set in the system. Like because of some reason the predictions are not coming, we have a SLAs, so service level agreements, in the real time. Like we'll have the example, if for a certain process my SLA is 7 a.m. morning, so I have to meet that, otherwise there's a problem. So we do well in advance. Like say example, if I have to produce the predictions at 7 a.m., I'll run the batch will be run in, like say example, 1.5 hour in advance, and we'll give certain time, and then we'll wait if there is any production alert. So maybe these are some of the tasks which some companies might assign to MLOps people, or maybe like these are the common like in a team. So but that's how it happened. Getting that?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. So it is, if it is operational infra side, we have to work with the team. If it is a code change, we have to work with the scientist team. That's what direction, we have to take the direction, right? That's what our understanding.
Correct, correct. But it will never happen, in this, like in a, you will, in the production, the data scientist will not come in. It can be the case, like, the
No,
predictions are
no,
going.
it's not like that. It will be happening. You cannot say like that. It will be happening some cases. Okay, that maybe. Yeah, I agree your point. Yeah. So one more question for me. Let's say in our training program, you will pick up one model. We like he will give you training on that how we are performing and we are moving into another environment. if it is some issue, how to dig it. Those things, you will cover all the areas and by end of this training, after training.
Sorry, but I could not understand the entire question. Can you please repeat?
So let's say, like, for example, overall after a 1.5 month training, 45 days training, so we are in a position to deploy the model in our different environment, and we are in a position to dig that model. We will get that level of knowledge after this training.
Absolutely, yeah, that's what we are doing. So our core job is to set up all the deployment process and everything. So you will be at the end of training, you should be capable to deploy your own models, deploy your own pipelines, write down automations like the CI/CD process, or maybe deploy your own code through various different automation means. So that's all we need to do.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, good that you've asked this. So we are here, I think, pretty much we are going a little slow, but yeah, it's fine. So what do importance of MLOps? Like here are the key reasons what we need to do in. So we need to make the model process efficient. Like we need to cater to data scientists. We need to like enable the data scientists so that they can help. So what care we'll take, we'll help them with infra, we'll help them with the automated work. If there is any code that they are providing, we can also put the automation in the testing. The deployment has to be scalable, like we need to take care of that. So all the respected processes are coming in here, like a CI/CD or maybe whatever processes that you want to follow. So there will be some policies. We need to enable that the monitoring and maintenance like is robust. That's why we need MLOps. So collaboration between the teams helps in the MLOps. So there are some practices you can write in. Say example, if you are raising a PR, you need to be in a certain way or something of that kind. So you need to pick all of those activities. So depending upon there can be a big team, there can be a small team. So you can be doing pretty much all the things or maybe like part of it. Okay. So the majority effort is going into accelerating time to market. What do I mean by time to market is that whenever your model is getting generated, maybe created, the artifact that needs to hit into production. That's what is the majority goal. Okay. And then improving the performance and regulatory compliance. Like you need to follow all the compliance, with your organization. Then you have to improve the model performance. That is, you won't be like actually doing the model performance improvement, but you will have to help the data scientist. So that's what you need to work in the sync with data scientist. Okay, with all of not only with the one person, but it's the entire team effort. Okay, so there are some key components which I would like to go in a real quick manner. Like I just want to show you some features, and then we have some obstacles we have in the end-to-end project. So we can quickly take a few minutes here. Okay, so yeah, I think we are here. So this is where this is one of the Google Cloud tool that I told that we'll definitely look it into the class in detail. So the reason I'm showing you this because this is having all the features that a ML ops person need, or maybe different tools you need. It has in a central place. That's why I'm choosing this one to show right now. And the reason that we need this is I can tell you one by one. So the first one is just ignore the above ones because the limited time I am not going through detail, but definitely we'll have one session which are going into entire detail. So first, whenever a data scientist or ML engineer works, we start with the workbench. So workbench is nothing but you have your own like machine, that's a virtual machine, having whatever like instance that you have. Okay, so that instance will be again we can 16 GB RAM, 64 whatever, or vCPUs, how many you need. So and you can stop or start on your will. So for saving the cost, if you want you can stop it, or maybe if you want you can keep it started. So this is how it works. Like, and you can also have an ideal shutdown time. So in your organization everybody will be having your own notebooks for that matter, and this will be an environment like which we can consider. There's a specific way you can create a new one here, and we'll see all of this using UI, using scripts, using Terraform. We'll all look it into how you create all of the machines, all of the resources. Okay, and then once you have the machine, once you have the machine, you go into the machine. If you have known like Jupyter Lab, if you have ever worked, if not, there is no problem. We'll definitely take a fresh stab on that. And once you have that, you will write the code which will be affecting the other services, such as what? So data. You create data sets. It's here. You need to have labeling tasks. Somebody will take up this labeling work in your team. Somebody will own this feature store. And then you process the development work is done by data scientists. The experiments are tracked here. The training is done here. We are tracking the training here. Our job is to ensure that the trainings are done well. For example, you need to see that which job has finished, or maybe you need to set up an automation which is looking at any failed training job. You need to revert. So by default, the cloud providers have the uh, messaging system enabled. Like you will get an email or something, and once you have that, how you repeat it is by the pipeline. So this is one of the examples which I can show you. So this is how the pipeline is looking like. Okay. So we look at this in great detail, and you will yourself build a pipeline from scratch. And this course is specifically, I have kept it like we are planning to keep it more than 80% as a hands-on. We'll see very less in theory. So it might be, we look at the details, how, and most of it will be, hands-on development work, and we'll touch the architecture of level 2 automation we saw, which will cover 100% of level 2 automation, so that you are equipped with the latest level of tools and things. And then you will have some, every week you will be doing your own hands-on things. So you will be developing some small part of the projects, and then individually you will be doing some assignments, and then you will have to keep all the things together and build an entire project like a capstone project at the end of it. So we'll have that kind of process. Okay. And if you see, like, these all are individual containers. So we'll build all of this as a part of training as well. Okay. And this is based on our open source framework, which is Kubeflow, which is a very great framework, and it is used wide in the enterprises. And not only you can run Kubeflow on GCP, you can run if you understand how Kubeflow works, it's run on the Azure and SageMaker both. So there is no problem if you will use any of the pipeline that you are using here. You can easily deploy that pipeline onto Azure or maybe AWS, or maybe like, you can try starting with whatever cloud provider works well for you. We will be covering the fundamentals in this course, and then the cloud providers, we can at least see two of them. So I'm not promising that we'll see all the three, but at least like two we can cover. So based on the time we have. But yeah, we can help you with any questions, queries, or something that you have. So this is how we'll be doing it. Okay. And at least,
Yeah. So how is it? How is the screen which you have shown? The screen which you have shown. So the Google, is it in Google Cloud or AI or what is?
yeah, it's a Google
Yes.
Cloud. There is a tool known as Vertex AI. That's a uniform umbrella for doing all the ML systems on Google Cloud. Similarly, in Azure, I can show you. That's known as Azure ML Studio. Okay, that it was an earlier one. So like no, I think it's not called exactly as a studio. It was an older name. So Azure ML as a service. So if you go in here, right? I mean, I have not logged in right now. I've logged into my GCP one, but I need to log in through my account, and I can show you the same thing, which is there in this one. Like a similar interface is there in Azure. So if we go back, I think we'll be able to see some images. Uh, okay, this is the architecture images. Azure ML console. Okay, perfect. Yeah. If you see, like is it looking very similar? Data sets, experiment, pipelines, models, endpoints. If you go in here, training, experiment, model registry, online prediction. This is the names are slightly different. Online prediction is nothing but endpoint. Okay, model registry is nothing but models there. Experiments and training is the same. There will be workbench, there will be pipeline. If you go in this console, there is a labeling service, data store, compute, and this might be an old thing also. Like these guys keep on changing, and this is the same workbench. This is the Azure workbench, and this is our ML workbench. If I open and show it to you, it will be exact same, no change. Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And also, Bhavesh, this is Srikanth here. I see there was a pipeline in the GCP Vertex AI. So, do you know like what are the environments that it use to consolidate all the integrations? Like, do you use Python, or I see that Kubeflow is like a template that we use. So Kubeflow in the backend use a Python, or does it use the same YAML code that we deploy some manifest in Kubernetes?
Correct. That's a very good question. Yeah, so I would like to take that question, in a detailed way also. But right now, since we don't have that much of time, so I'll take it as in a short one. So, the Kubeflow is again invented by Google. So they have created this particular technology couple of years back, and I mean not only couple of years, they have been into the industry for a long time. Like Kubeflow was invented for all of the different you know ML use cases. It's an open source platform which you can use your own on your own machine, and it's deployed on top of Kubernetes. So if you want to run Kubeflow, okay, so you would want to deploy it on a Kubernetes. But what these cloud providers have done is they have created a managed version. Okay. So what this thing Kubeflow does is they have all the things like Katib, Kserve, training operator, Kubeflow pipelines, Kubeflow notebooks, and whatever it is like the same thing package which we'll see in every cloud provider. So Azure has SageMaker. Sorry, Azure has ML as a service like ML Studio. AWS has SageMaker. Google has the Vertex. So the name will be different, but under the hood they are using the same technology, and they are orchestrating it on Kubernetes. Okay. But the thing is, we don't have to manage anything. Like the Kubernetes is again managed by the cloud providers. Say something like this particular thing. This is running on a Kubernetes instance, but we don't need to worry about it. We just have to write the code for it, and we need to like if you see, like everything will be a job ID will be created. The image which we have used is Python 3.9 basic image, and everything will be done on the Kubernetes, but we don't have to worry about it. We just have to configure few metadata, few code lines. We'll definitely see that in action. Okay. And you can get the logs as well, detailed logs for whatever you are doing in the code. Okay. So that's how it works. I hope I was able to answer, but yeah, this this needs to address in a greater detail. But yeah, due to time constraint, I'm talking it in a short. So last but not the least, we'll covering. I am showing this end-to-end projects. So there will be some projects similar way, like the way we see this training pipeline, which I show you today. So that will be covered. So these all demos like will be done internally in the class, and also you will be yourself doing all of these things. Otherwise, there is no sense. You are, this is not a class where you listen in and like go put your headphone, listen for 1 hour, and like you go away. So that's not happening. You will have to put in some serious efforts if you want to go ahead and convert this into a job opportunity, convert this into a different role or whatever. If you want, you will have to put in the effort. Otherwise, there is no like much of the effort, like whatever you are putting in the effort. Okay, so some extra effort you need to put in from your side as well, and you need to do all of these things. Like this is the minimum. We can keep this list extending. So these were all right. I wrote this yesterday night, whatever it was on the top of my mind. So yeah, I mean these are the fundamental things which I see. The logging and monitoring, processing streams, CI/CD, Terraform writing, infrastructure as a code. So we'll look all of this in great detail.